Hi, my name is Emma and welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, this is my channel, Emmaalways, and I talk about budgeting, minimalism, and travel. And today we're going to talk about budget and travel, and I'm going to give you tips, my top 5 tips on how to save money on your Disney World vacation. Disney World seems like this big, crazy, grand vacation, and it definitely can be, but also it can fit any sort of budget, and there are definite ways that you can save money when you're going to Disney World, and I'm here to help you find those out so you can have a magical week in the most magical place on earth. So my first tip, and I think my most effective tip, is to go in the off season. Disney doesn't really have an off season, but there are 2 times where attendance is way lower and Disney will pump out discounts. So from January to February, the crowds at Disney are pretty low, and then the other time is after Labor Day to around Thanksgiving. The crowds are also pretty low. Going during these times where they're less busy is not only great because you're not fighting strollers and waiting for 3 hours to go on a ride, but it's awesome because Disney will give you discounts because they want more people to come during their value season. So for example, last time I went in September, we got 35% off our room each night during the value season, so we were able to stay at Port Orleans Riverside, which is one of their moderate hotels, and so that's really cool. Otherwise, when I went before in September, they offered me a free dining plan, and that saves you a ton of money if you go to Disney and you don't have to pay for any food. So they hand out these deals which make it really affordable to go to Disney World. So that's awesome. Another tip I have is look at the array of Disney hotels that they offer. So there are value hotels which you can stay in that range from about $100, give or take, a night. So they are All-Star Movies, All-Star Music, All-Star Sports, and Art of Animation, which is a newer one. And the Art of Animation is good if you have a family because I think they're mostly suites instead of just a room. But they're all decorated like Disney, crazy, kid, blah. So, and they're not really that expensive. It's about what you pay for a lot of places that are offsite. So I think that it's a good deal, and you still get to be on Disney property. You get the Disney experience, and you save a lot of money. If $100 a night is still too expensive for you, then I would look at offsite options. Yet I did stay offsite once. My room was cheaper than what I've paid recently, but I had to pay for transportation to and from Disney World, and even from, when I stayed at Port Orleans Riverside this last time I went, it's still a really long drive to the Disney parks. If you are already on Disney property, your hotel to the park transportation is free. You ride the Disney Magical Express. So I think that there's other costs that add up, and you have to pay for magic bands. Well, I guess you don't have to, you can have the card. But I think that if you stay on site, you can stay at a place for $90, have all your basic needs covered, and then still get all the Disney experiences. So I can't really talk too extensively about staying offsite because I've only done it one time, but I think that if you want to save money, stay in a value hotel that Disney has to offer. So another hotly debated money saving, money spending thing is the Disney dining plan. They offer a dining plan where you can buy different combinations of table service, snacks, and quick service meals that you prepay, and then you get some sort of discount. In my experience, I've done the dining plan once, and I haven't done it twice because I find that the room discount is better than the dining plan. But if you're a big eater and you really want to eat in the parks, and that's a huge experience of Disney World for you, then I would say maybe purchase it. But for me, I am vegan, and it's really hard to eat in Disney World, and most of the vegetarian options, there's very few vegan, but most of the vegetarian options cost less than what you pay for the dining plan. But if you're a meat eater and you want to eat and experience Disney food, then it might be a good way for you to save some money. The thing that I like to do is I like to make my breakfast in my room. So we always buy packets of oatmeals. We always buy packets of oatmeal, bring them on the plane. We eat that in our room in the morning because most come with a coffee pot. Or we make sandwiches. I was actually surprised at how much food you could buy in the gift store, like basic grocery items. And also it's really easy to use Uber and Lyft on the Disney property and around Orlando. So if you need to go to Trader Joe's, it's really easy. And if you've never used Uber, it's like you get a $15 free ride the first time. So that will save you some money getting to and from. So I think that food is one of the biggest expenses at Disney World, and if you can cut your costs there, you're gonna be fine. The food there is expensive. In my experience, the food there is pretty good, but yes, it can be a money suck. So the dining plan is like said to save you money, but I would be wary if you are vegetarian, vegan like myself. I would say it's not worth it. If you are a big eater and eating is like a huge part of the Disney experience for you, more than rides or anything like that, like you actually like are going there to eat. Like we were there during the Food and Wine Festival kind of thing. So I mean, people go there to eat. Then I would say buy the dining plan. It will save you money and it is very convenient. I will say that much. It's very nice. So yes, if you want to save money though, I would skip the dining plan, limit the meals that you eat in the park, and eat breakfast in your room and pack a lunch and maybe eat snack and a dinner. Save money because 3 meals a day for however many people you traveled with can definitely add up. Oh, another suggestion that I have is don't buy the park hopper if you're trying to save some money. The park hopper adds a ton of money. Like when I looked at it this summer, it was like $300 for us to have park hopper passes. So, and a park hopper, if you don't know what it is, means that you can go to any of the Disney parks during the day until they close. Whereas if you just buy a single park ticket, you can only go to that one park. You can come and go as you please, but like you can only go to Magic Kingdom or you can only go to Animal Kingdom instead of going to Magic Kingdom when Animal Kingdom closes. If you're gonna go during a value season or an off season, having a single park ticket's actually really nice. I've done this the past 2 times I went to save money, and I have found that you don't really wait that long for rides. So when my boyfriend and I went this last September, we had single park tickets, so we just spent 1 day at each park and we were totally fine with it. It was a great time. We got to do every single ride in the park before, 5 o'clock. And then if we wanted to, we would come back to see whatever show that they had at night. But we didn't feel like we were missing out on anything by not being able to go to whatever park we wanted. Also at Disney World, it's hard to get from park to park. It's very time consuming. They're farther away than you would imagine from each other. It can be like a 20-30 minute drive between the parks. So I would say if you're gonna save money, especially if you're there during the value season, I would just skip the park hopper. Be content with the one hotel you're staying at and try to enjoy the amenities of your hotel if you're staying at Disney, because the hotels actually have a lot of really cool things to offer. And that's another point actually, so I guess this is 6 tips now. We'll say 5.1. If you want to save money, take rest days, because the hotels do have a lot of free things for you to do. They all have really great pools and they all have some sort of activity for kids during the day and everything. And there's Disney Springs, you can go shop, look around, eat, whatever. There's stuff to do that you don't have to pay, like $100 for a park ticket to get in. Okay, and my last tip is to skip souvenirs or just buy, what you really want. So I am minimalist, so I already don't really like to bring a bunch of things into my home, but that was not always the case. And I have been to Disney where I have spent, hundreds and hundreds of dollars on just stuff, and it's, Disney, so it's overpriced and very expensive, and you don't really need any of it, and once you're outside of Disney it kind of like loses its luster and, you know, all of that. But so don't buy the souvenirs, try to avoid them, or only buy things that like you really are thinking about. If you have kids, you can also buy souvenirs beforehand and then give them to them there. They won't really know the difference. I don't know. It's so expensive to buy the souvenirs there, and that can be a huge part of how much money you spend at Disney. But if you're just spending, you know, money on some food, if you're just spending money on some food, your lodging, all of that, you can really cut your costs to make Disney affordable. My boyfriend and I, in September, went to Disney World and we had a really spectacular time. We got to experience, you know, everything. We did all of the rides. We stayed at a really great hotel. We were at Port Orleans Riverside, and we had, seriously, like the best week. And we had to save our money, we had to budget, but we found that it was easy to have, you know, like a dream vacation at Disney without really breaking the bank. So we want to give you the opportunity to have as much fun as we did in Disney. If you liked this video and you are like, I want to go to Disney, watch my Disney videos. They're also on my channel. I'll link one at the end, and you can get some inspiration about your future Disney trip. Alright, signing off. Goodbye.
Huh? No, I'm not filming. I've been filming the whole time.